This has been a really interesting conference, figuring out what the key insights are for radiology departments across the UK. And a couple of things that I've taken away from today are how do radiology departments really utilise the resources that are available to them without having to smash the budget. And we were able to put on, we're very lucky enough to be able to put on a workshop about navigating budget pressures in the NHS and how to do that, whether that's using cost improvement studies or really optimising the resources that are available in the department. And we were able to actually present a case study at Mid and South Essex where our system AXREM, which is designed to organise and optimise the radiology department, uncovered a whole load of capacity on their rota, which meant that they were able to increase their reporting locally, decrease their outsourcing spend, and really optimise themselves as a department. And they had a cost saving over the course of the year of £150,000, which they've been able to realise again for the next year. They actually bought a couple new scanners and been able to do a lot more activity. So that's one area where I think needs to be focused on a little bit more, rather than sending everything out to teleradiology, which is great as a solution, but isn't the be-all and end-all and isn't the answer to everything, because it is quite expensive. And if you can truly optimise the resources that you've got currently, then I think that is the way forward, and start with that and then move on to teleradiology when needed. I guess there's always a worry that teleradiology will create a two-tier system with a huge radiologist shortage in the NHS. But what teleradiology can provide is services to trusts that are struggling and access to radiologists that can do, perform a service which may not be able to be accessible from that trust. An example would be certain specialist scans where there may only be a couple of radiologists at a local trust who are able to report those scans. If you do connect with a teleradiology supplier, you've got access to a whole load more of radiologists and you then can provide that service. The other thing to mention is talking about resources that are available to a department. There are massive radiology shortages across the country, and that means that there are gaps in rotas. And if you can identify those gaps very easily, you can be proactive and you can understand what your capacity is. And if you can understand what your demand is, then you can really be proactive in thinking about insourcing models, thinking about outsourcing models, or adjusting the rota as necessary. So I think when you've done those two things, built a roster which feeds into a business intelligence model, which gives you capacity and demand metrics, and you've connected with a teleradiology supplier who's trusted, gives you high quality, with a broad range of services, I think then you can really revolutionise the department. So the biggest obstacle, and I think everyone kind of knows what this is, to scaling digital solutions, whether it's radiology or anything. And there are ways that Hexarad is solving this, and that obstacle is financial burden. It's really difficult in the current market, the current economic climate, to be asking for more money from hospitals. And I understand that it's difficult when there's pressures from above to reduce outsourcing, there's pressures from above to really manage the budget tightly. I think that's the biggest obstacle, and the way that Hexarad are helping that, we are following market trends. We are offering services at competitive prices, but we're also offering services like consultations on how the department is running. These consultations we can offer at a hugely discounted price compared to what you would offer, say, a Big Four consultant firm. They would be charging you around $250K for this type of information. We can do it at a fraction of that price and really show you, where in the department efficiencies can be made to really make sure that the department is running to the best it can be. So I think that there are multiple ways that financial burdens can be tackled, and I think OptiRad is a system that Hexarad offers which can really revolutionise how a department tackles those burdens.
I think the role of AI in radiology and in healthcare more generally is as an enabler rather than as a replacement. It's basically going to make the job more efficient, more streamlined. That's sort of the main goals, and that's really what we want to improve with Hexarad. So we haven't implemented any formal AI reporting tools as of yet, but that's in the pipeline. However, we are in partnership with Newton's Tree, who are a AI vendor-neutral platform, which allows for testing, selecting, implementation and ongoing monitoring of AI tools in conjunction with our OptiRad software, which is a business intelligence, capacity and demand and workflow optimization software. And so we can track how these tools are performing within your departments, how they can improve your capacity and decrease the demand on the scans and on your radiologists within your department. And that's how I think AI is going to help out in radiology and really take advantage of these new technologies going forward.